Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Sune, and I hope you're well. And if you're not, I hope you're well soon. Hello. So, today we're going to talk about comparison and worry and being stuck in these loops of why am I not like this and what if this happens and blah 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 blah. Spiraling. And we're going to talk about it because I saw this comment. This is literally actually why I wanted to make this video. I knew I wanted to make a video today, I just didn't know what about, and then I saw this comment on some random channel, I don't even remember where, and it said that worry is a waste of imagination. I was like, wow, that is so freaking true. Like, when you're worrying, you're stuck in the stagnant state of thinking about like a certain thing, thinking about a certain outcome. You can't be in the present moment, so it's like you can't live and you can't create and you can't enjoy. So when you're worrying, you're taking that time away from your imagination, your creativity, your joy. It like sucks the life out of your joy and your happiness and your imagination. Worry does. And there's also that people say it's like when you worry about something that could happen, it's like you're worrying twice. You're worrying double. You're worrying for the possibility of something that's going to happen that you would then have to worry about. But that thing isn't happening. So it's like, see how it's a little irrational and it kind of takes away from like you just living your life? It's like this extra heavy burden, worry. And comparison. We'll get into that. But worrying. Like, and I've experienced this a lot. Like, I think I mentioned in another video, I struggle with like social anxiety and stuff like that. So, of course, I'm always like worrying about, oh, like what if this happens? What if that happens? Like if I go here, like what if that person does this? Like it used to be and it still is sometimes, but not as much anymore. But years ago, crippling social anxiety. So, I had a constant cycle of worrying to the point where I could not even like be myself. I couldn't enjoy life at all. And when I did, it was when I was alone in my own room and I could control everything. I could control the circumstances, so I wasn't scared, you know? But now it's like I'm recognizing that my life is still gonna be the same whether I'm worrying or not. But the difference is if I take away the worry from the current moment where there's really nothing to worry about, I can actually enjoy myself. I can enjoy my life. And instead of focusing on what ifs, right? Because our minds can make up the craziest scenarios, the craziest possibilities. Like, what if this happens and then this happens because of that and this and this and this, and it's like, oh my, chill. Like, please chill. Like, you don't need to be thinking about all that because it's not happening, right? It's like cross the bridge when you come to it. If it happens, then you deal with it. But if it never happens, what's the point in like worrying about it? Also, from a manifestation standpoint, the more you think about something, the more it's likely to happen. Um, so the more you're worrying about something, it can I actually noticed this does happen. Like when I had really bad social anxiety, right? I would be worrying about how other people were perceiving me, or I was like worried that people thought I was like weird, or they just like didn't want to hang out with me, whatever. And then it like energetically, I like when I look back, I was like I was energetically creating a distance between me and other people because of that worry, because of that fear. And so yeah, I would distance myself from people, and then I'd be like, "Oh, people don't like me." But it's like I was unknowingly the one that was creating that reality for myself with my worry. So that's interesting to think about. Mm. And okay, So worry. And also I want to talk about comparison because comparison is such an interesting thing, right? Because it can be healthy. Comparison can be healthy in terms of like you see something someone else is doing and you're like, oh, I would really like to do that too. And right now I'm at this point and I'd like to be at that point. And it can be good for motivation, but at other times it can be really unhealthy. Be really unhealthy. You could be putting expectations on yourself to be living the life of someone else, which is irrational because you're not that person, right? It sounds so simple, but it kind of is. You're not meant to be anybody else but yourself. So when you compare yourself to someone else, it's like you're actually, I wrote it down because I thought it was cool. I wrote this down. I said, comparison is like putting yourself in an examination room and like picking apart the parts of yourself that aren't acceptable, and what is, and then trying to be what is acceptable while hating the parts of yourself that are not acceptable. It's like it's just awful. Like you're like picking yourself apart based on some expectation, some sort of norm. Sometimes that aren't even imposed upon you by other people, but you literally create them because you've assumed that this person is the most amazing person, so you want to be just like them. Or you've decided that if I'm not like this, then I'm a failure. But that's not true, right? Like everybody's successes are different, everybody's paths are different. So when you compare to someone else, it's fruitless. It makes no sense because you're totally two different people. So their success is going to be different from yours. It's not saying that you can't have the things that other people have, and like if they have like this they have certain success in like some sort of field that you really enjoy and you want to get into, well, you can be successful in that field too. Who says you can't? It's just you're not going to have the exact life of someone else, and you shouldn't want to because you're not them and they're not you. And when you come back to, okay, this person is different from me, and I'm different from them, and we're both valuable as different, unique people, then you come to the realization that there's no need to compare. Nobody, I think I already said this in my last video about like self judgment, but literally, you're not someone else and they're not you. You're all unique. Nobody is better or worse than anyone else. And the more egoic side of society would like to tell you different, that if you are not rich or beautiful or, famous, that you are not as worthy or not as valuable. So not true. So not true. So not true. And when we accept realities like that, then it leads to that comparison of, oh, I need to be like that person to be valuable. Well, no, honey, you don't. You just need to be you. And you just need to focus on what you really enjoy, what you really love. And that's how you find your success, is in your own joy, in your own passion, in your own excitement. Because if you're not meant to live a certain way, but you become programmed to compare yourself to other people that are living a different way that really isn't actually what you want, it's what you think you want, then what does that do to you? It fragments your sense of self. It's pulling you away, forcing you into a box that you're not even meant to be in. So that feels horrible, right? That feels awful. It's like you're being stripped of your right to just be you. So don't give in to that, you know? I mean, again, you can do whatever you want, but I recommend not giving in to that comparison. not trying to fit yourself into someone else's box, or trying to fit other people into your box that you may create for other people, because sometimes people do that, unfortunately. When you can just recognize that everybody's different from you, and some people are going to live one way and you're going to live another. And that's just life. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, um you're not stuck in a box, and you don't have to spend so much time worrying about whether you're doing the right thing or not, about the what ifs of your future. You don't have to. No. This is the time to start imagining things for yourself, to start enjoying your life, and not basing your worth upon future endeavors, comparison, um, how comparing your way of being to other people's way of being, because it's different. It's always going to be different, and it's honestly, it's kind of backwards that in this day and age we live in a time where if you just go on the internet, and I'm really serious about this, you just go on the internet, you go to like one part of the internet, and you're just bombarded with all of these expectations. You are bombarded with like, I have to be this way, and you have to be this way, and we have to be this way, and if you act this way, then people are going to judge you, and it's like programming, like so hard, bombarded by that, and but it's all a lie. Like, it's all a lie. And what was it? I wanted to mention this. What was it? Someone said that, again, sometimes I really don't know where I get my information from. I just like have read something somewhere and I'm like, yeah, cool. So it was like someone was talking about how one person will have like a feed, like an internet feed that, the algorithm will cater to them. And so it would be one video, and the algorithm caters it to them, and so they only get certain comments about certain perspectives, and they only get certain content about certain perspectives, which fuels a certain like viewpoint and ideology and perspective in that person, because they're continuing to get fed the same stuff. And then you take someone else who's fed the other side of that perspective of like a thing, and then they're programmed differently about it. And so when those two people meet with their two ideologies that are like different about the same topic, well, they are both fed so deeply one side of that thing that they're like, oh my gosh, like, you're wrong, no, you're wrong. So it's like, you have to be mindful of what you're being fed, especially on the internet right now. Like, it's not good. um because it feeds you worry of seeing a lot of bad things, a lot of misinformation, and also comparison of feeling like other people are just better than you for whatever reason, because it seems like they're better than you. Well, let me tell you, the internet is mostly fake, so that's not even true. And again, like I said, nobody is better or worse than anyone else, so even if people seem that way because they seem perfect, nah. Lies on lies on lies. We're human beings. Like, as much as the internet likes to show humans as perfect in certain ways, that is not the reality. Go to someone's house and like see them freshly showered, just like sitting on their couch, like eating chips, right? That's a real human being. Okay? That's a real human being. Not these people who are all like dolled up and like, oh, look at me. Like, it's not the same. That's not humanity. People all dolled and glammed up and looking good and got their stacks of cash, like, that's a moment. That's not reality. People aren't going around like that 24/7, looking perfect, acting perfect, being perfect. No. It's not possible. Human beings are literally not perfect. Anyway, I was ranting a little bit there, but I just had to say it. Okay? But yeah, comparison and worry. I think I'm gonna put this as the title: Comparison and Worry, the thieves of joy, the thieves of imagination, the thieves of passion, the thieves of authenticity, the thieves of being a normal human being. So, yeah, anyway, I hope you guys are well, and if you're not, I hope you're well soon. And real quick, I think you guys have seen, I don't really want to mention this like too much in my video because I don't know what would happen if YouTube is like hee hee. So, if you know about the fires, my prayers go out to anyone and everyone who is involved in those fires and has lost a home, or a loved one, or a pet, or literally anything. My heart goes out to those people, and I hope that they get the support that they need, and the love and the care that they need during these difficult times. So, putting that out there. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.